I'm backstage at the Yahoo Finance All Markets Summit with Steve Van Kuiken of McKinsey. Steve, we just were on a panel with Bernard Tyson, the CEO of Kaiser Permanente. We talked a little bit about technology, wanted to get into it a little bit more with
Absolutely.
you. Healthcare costs, everybody knows they always go up, they only go up, they never go down, but you think some things might be coming in technology that might help with costs. What are the big trends, and then we'll talk about a couple specifics.
Yeah, so there's a number of things happening. One is there are new consumer-oriented models that are helping patients manage chronic care. And you're getting a ton of investment in these models. Companies like Livongo and Omada Health who are building these capabilities called digital therapeutics, where it allows patients, it gives them a scale, gives them a watch, gives them
This
a
is
coach.
these are things they use at home.
Peer coaching, I use it at home.
Yep.
It helps me manage my type 2 diabetes or my hypertension, and it's proven to lower costs. So that's one trend. The other thing is you've got the big tech companies getting really focused in the space. So Apple is now saying, listen, what we're going to do is we're going to give you, the patient, access to your own data. And they're building APIs and data loads from many of the health systems, and they're going to democratize patient data.
So help me understand what's coming here. So at Yahoo Finance, we talk about the tech companies all the time. Our audience cares a lot about the stocks. They're obviously big stocks. We've been hearing about Apple, for instance, planning to get into the healthcare business for a long time. What has taken so long, and what are we going to start to see? What's going to be the first sign that Apple's really doing something big? Is it going to be an app on the phones, an iWatch? What's it going to be?
Well, I think it's going to be apps on the phone. I'm guessing, that it's not a huge device market. I mean, obviously you can sell watches and you can sell iPhones, but in the end, I think it's about creating the app environment that will be built off this consumer data. And that in and of itself could become a huge value driver for them.
How is that? What is that going to do for the consumer?
It's going to make the consumer easy. It's going to be easier to manage your whole health. So we talked in the panel. Only 15% of total health care comes from the actual medical care you get. Mm-hmm. The rest is all around behaviors, social determinants, genetics, and patients are going to, as the industry becomes more consumer oriented. Younger patients are going to demand these devices to help, and these mechanisms to help manage their whole health. Am I getting enough sleep? Am I managing my weight appropriately? Am I eating the right things? Am I actually seeing the doc when I should see the doc? Can I get easy access to medical advice when I need it?
Taking medication, probably?
Taking medication
reminders?
Am I adhering to my medication? Am I getting reminders? I mean, you can imagine this is going to be, it'll just be, care will be delivered in an entirely different way 10 years from now than it is today. And I think that's where Apple, and by the way, Amazon, who's also experimenting with these models up in Seattle, they're well positioned to kind of scale these models up, because the issue's been all this innovation has been happening at a micro level. And
most of us are not seeing it.
You're not seeing it, right? And it's got to become easily accessible. And the tech giants, what they're really good is scaling technology rapidly.
So let's just talk about Amazon for a second. They don't make devices quite the way Apple does. I mean, everybody isn't walking around with an Amazon device per se. A lot of people have an Amazon home speaker in their house now.
Yep.
So what is Amazon's way in here?
Well, they clearly are looking at efficiency and distribution. They're starting to distribute.
That's what they do very well.
Yeah, they do that very well, and they're also very good at surrounding the consumer with choices and options for both. I mean, you can imagine an Amazon world where I can get access to my doc via Alexa. I can order the drugs I need. I can order the medical equipment I need. I can get alerts. So it's the same kind of environment that an Apple could create. And they can build the distribution model around that as well, so they can bring their natural advantages to the space.
Can these are firms outside the traditional healthcare industry, can they actually get into the healthcare industry? I mean, I think a lot of us think of healthcare as so complex, all this regulation, that it's just like a fortress for any business from the outside trying to get in.
It has been. I think that might shift. I tie it back to it's a very hard industry to penetrate. There's lots of regulation. There's lots of innate knowledge or deep knowledge that's needed to succeed in it. And some of it will be through partnerships. You see a lot of partnerships happening between the big tech firms and big healthcare players. But I also think, again, back to this consumerism push, their entry point will be just very focused on the consumer and what the consumer wants. If they do that,
and they've already got the consumer's attention basically through their
attention. So. Are they going to be providing care? Probably not, but maybe they will. I don't know. But I mean, I think what they will do is say, let's take our knowledge of the consumer and our models for how we, make consumers happy, and let's apply that to healthcare. And my guess is, maybe not with the older generation, but the younger generation, those models will really start to take off.
Steve Van Kuiken of McKinsey, thank you for chatting with us for a few minutes.
Thank you, Rick.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.